Thanks so much for joining us. We will begin right now with our little game, if everybody's ready. Are you all ready to venture forth into the night and to count? That's what I thought. Last game, we found out what happened to our friends here 5 years after the first series of lights. Teddy has been gallivanting around the country and parts further, creating a bit of a name for herself as Coyote, running around, helping out people in distress. Well, not necessarily anybody, but people who deserve them, and then made a bit of a name for herself. And now she has returned to Chicago, having embraced the wilder side of her personality. She has returned to Chicago to see her friends which include Cassie, who is a bit less haunted than she was. A bit. I mean, I don't know if Cassie's realized that Teddy came back into town and all the weirdness started happening again.
Cassie would never correlate Teddy with anything bad.
Well,
so jot that one down.
All right. It's going to take a while to get this plot solved. Cassie has been having a bit of a better time. Her mental health has improved since the professor and Knight and Mare have been apparently dislodged from beneath Edgewater Hospital. They've built some nice condos there, which apparently the Giovanni say are very haunted, so who knows what's going on there. But Cassie has gone back to school and is studying 9 classes in psychology, trying to get her life back on track. And start ourselves out. So we're very proud of our little Cassie, who has even made the bed. Last time I think we saw that Cassie had even made the bed. So I have a bed. You have a bed, which that's because you have a suitor. Because your dog also has a Rolls Royce of dog beds. Your dog, Prince, who used to belong to Teddy, and now is kind of confused because he's got 2 mothers and he's not too sure which one he should follow. But
both of us, yes.
Both of us at the same time. But Cassie has a suitor, a certain Mr. Vincent Giovanni, who has come to Chicago a little while back from New York, working for the family. Not too sure exactly what's going on with the family because it doesn't really jive with kind of everything he knows about the Giovanni family. But he's a good soldier. He's doing his bit, and in the meantime, because he likes to take long walks in the moonlight in cemeteries, he's come across Cassie, who likes to go and read in the cemetery. Nothing absolutely weird there. The two have met and have forged a bit of a bond. Whether that bond will survive the strain of Cassie's friends and weirdness remains to be seen. Meanwhile, working deep within the bowels of an abandoned post office, which used to be, a long time ago, the site of the infamous hotel where H.H. Holmes murdered a whole bunch of people. And they used to belong to a certain Agravain, Nosferatu, bad boy, before he and several others were burnt in the building when it went down in flames. Helena has devoted herself entirely to the arts of darkness. And deep below the bowels of this abandoned post office is currently busy building a temple to Set. With her little gothic minions fluttering about, she is well on her way to building the first temple of Set that has been in Chicago for quite some time now. The only problem, of course, is that now apparently the Baali are interested in her and what she's doing, and that's never a good thing. But Helena perseveres because Helena felt something stir inside of her. There is something awakening in her, some dark goddess, perhaps, that may soon demand a little bit more worship than what she's been getting. Unfortunately, the world moves on, and plots are hatched, and ancient buried things manipulate people and manipulate events to their own designs. And in the city, a couple of nights ago, a Baali was captured, attempting to break into an abandoned post office. This Baali was found carrying on them a piece of bark, ostensibly from something called a Judas tree, found plentifully in certain areas of the world, in Turkey, and originally a very important tree in the city of Constantinople. On this bark were inscribed a number of symbols: a moon, a wolf's paw, a hand with a bloody eye in the palm, and a serpent. The Baali carried this piece of bark with them when they were found. They also carried with them a note, a crumpled note, piece of paper on which were written a number of words and names, including the names of each of these fine fellows here: Helena, Vincent, Teddy, Theodora, and Cassie, among a host of other names. That of Carter, that of Lydia, that of Francis, and that of Archibald, with strange words, Latin, attached to them. Finally, this Baali also carried with them a matchbook from a club called the Seven Sisters, which some of our friends here know to be an underground sex club in Chicago. The prince summoned all four of them and told them they had 1 week to figure out why this Baali was running around with their names in her pocket. And so now the four friends, allies, this coterie, have to figure out exactly why this Baali's running around with their names on a piece of paper, and who the fuck Carter, Archibald, Francis, and what was the other name? I forget. Lydia. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm like blanking. The worst thing was I saw Cato's face in my mind. I'm like, I'm just blanking. Lydia. Sorry. I'm drunk. I'm not. My friends. Too much, my lord. My friends, you are currently awaiting the dawn. Teddy went to try and find Lee late last night, finding only someone called Birdsong, banged up and waiting for Lee in his apartment, in his house, rather. You fled, Teddy, intending to go to Nora's, but unfortunately, the dawn caught you. All of you, after last night's events, returned to your homes and your sanctuaries and found sleep. And as we begin tonight, it is the next night. It is dusk. Night falls slowly down on the city. The lights of the city come to life. And somewhere in a park, in a little area near a brook and a little rocky outcropping, a bunch of coyotes are stirring. They've been sleeping, basking in the sunlight all day. And now as night falls, they know it's time to move. Amidst them, something stirs in the earth of this park. What does it look like, Teddy, as you awaken?
It's almost as if the ground begins to protrude and bulge, and as it does, a shape of a woman slowly pushes through and out of it, almost as though she's growing from the ground, as if she were some sort of tree, a piece of the ground itself, the earth, made flesh, until she is standing fully dressed in what she was wearing the night previous, amidst the coyotes.
The coyotes all stir, wake up. One of them, the leader of the group, a female, with a golden fur, which is very strange for a coyote to have this kind of golden fur, but with like a little bit of a black streak over one eye, goes down the back, approaches, and you know she wants to know if you're moving with them tonight or if you are going off on your own again.
Teddy's going to look down to her and catch her eyes. Not tonight. Not right now. I need to find someone. Stay close.
As she usually does in order to assert her control of the pack, she snarls at you, but you know. They peel off, all of them, running in circles around you a few times. A few of them howl, and then they disappear off into the night, cutting through the trees, through the forest, running off further away from the lights of civilization. You're left alone.
Teddy's gonna make her way to Nora's tonight. She's gonna do so in her human form and not change this time like she did for Lee's.
Is it more comfortable for her to be in different forms now, you think, or?
I think she's very comfortable with her coyote form at this point. I think a lot of times she prefers to travel that way, especially in the city late at night. It helps her not to get noticed by people so much. She can just kind of look like a dog, a stray dog.
Stray dog. And you're on your way to the woman who collects these, as well as many other strays. Nora, who was your mentor when you were the first year you were embraced and needed to be supervised. Before we move on further into the city, I want to say thank you so much to Scottish Jeff and to Raven, who bought night moves for everyone. So everyone gets 2 night moves. Thank you so much, everyone. Jeff and Raven, your generosity is noted and appreciated. Thank you for helping out our little friends here. Cassie. My friend Cassie. Remind me what kind of phone you have?
It's a very shitty flip phone that is definitely paid by the minute.
Do you get text messages on those things, or?
I do.
All right.
Just takes me a while to text back. T9.
You wake up, as you usually do, with Prince crawling up into bed with you and coming to snuggle up, making little mommy wake up sounds. You don't have the talents that Teddy has to communicate with animals, but you can feel that he's feeling a little off, like he seems like, you know, he's got stuff on his mind, but he still comes over and climbs into bed and wakes you up by hitting you with his nose until you move out of your stupor. What do you do as you start to awake?
Cassie is a little sluggish to wake up. It probably takes Prince a couple of times of nudging at her before she finally just sort of throws an arm around him, signifying that she is indeed awake. And she gets up from the bed, sort of. Her apartment is in a little bit more of a state of disarray than it was last night when Teddy had shown up. There's more clothes sort of strung all about. It's a little bit more messier. So she goes and she finds what she thinks are probably clean clothes in a pile somewhere and throws those on. And sort of scrolls through her phone a bit as she sort of stands absent-mindedly in the middle of her apartment.
Does Cassie still, in moments like these, and random moments, and perhaps especially because of what's happened in the last few nights, does Cassie still sometimes kind of brace herself, fearing that she's going to wake up and see something on her walls or whatnot like she used to, or do you think that she's kind of let go of some of that?
I think for the most part, she's let go a lot of that. But I think after the events of last night, and especially having seen the maze on her phone, as well as the maze on that wall as they were leaving, I think there's a little bit more apprehension. She's a little bit more, you could tell there's more tension in her shoulders as she's standing there. She seems on edge.
You open up the phone, there's a message waiting for you when you do. It's a message that's routed through the school messaging system that you can use to exchange messages with your classmates. And it's from one of your classmates in psychology, a student named Elliot. The message reads, "Hey, I saw you had the neurotic personality checked out from the library. Could I borrow it? I need a few citations for Dr. Elizondo's term paper. I could get it back to you tomorrow. I'll be on campus all evening at the library working. Give me a text if you're around. I'll come down to meet you. Thanks."
I'm going to send back a very simple, yes, be there around 8.
You'll get 2 thumbs up emojis and a smile.
I send a smile back, but it's just a normal smile because I can't really do emojis on my phone.
Okay, no, that's fine. I think people understand. They're like, sometimes a smile is all you can manage. What will you do after?
I think as Cassie's looking at her phone, I think that there are probably a couple of missed messages and calls from Vincent at this point. The night before, after her little freak out, quote unquote, she basically had him drop her off at her apartment, and the ride was very silent the entire way. And she's going to sort of flick through the messages from Vincent, but she's not going to call him back at this point. She's kind of, as she's like reading through the messages, there's a frown on her face.
What are those messages exactly, Vincent? You've awoken in your penthouse, top one of the tallest buildings in downtown Chicago. I don't want to assume. Describe your environment a little bit. I don't want to assume what it's like.
It looks very, very, what's the term? Furnished apartment style. So it's not, the only thing in this place that's truly his is a few knickknacks and a few tchotchke type items, and then anything that he needs for his rituals and his clothing. Everything else very much has that simplistic furnished apartment style to it all around him, and he is a stark contrast to the very sterile white that is common in these kinds of apartments. Rising though, he would have instinctively just messaged Cassie. "Are you okay? What happened last night? You were very quiet. Call me."
Does Vincent have like a ghoul manservant of some sort?
He doesn't personally have one, but generally a retinue of them are sent with the family wherever they go to handle their daytime business.
So there'd be a gentle knock at the door.
Yeah. What do you need?
Nothing, sir. Just wanting to see if you need anything.
Did you pick up my dry cleaning?
I did, sir. It's right here. Would you like me to bring it in?
Yeah. Yeah, bring it in and put it on the couch.
Fabrizio walks in, carrying her, lays it down nice.
Any messages of any kind?
Yes. The elder would like to speak to you sometime tonight, if you have time. He says sometime after 4.
God, so late. All right. There should have been a package delivered at some point. Was there or no?
I can go verify.
Please do. Thank you.
Anything else you require, sir?
No, I think I'm good.
Excellent. He'll shuffle off. What would Vincent do at this point?
Like, he would probably sit there for a good long minute, just like in his boxers, like the way that he slept, staring at his phone, seeing that he's essentially left on red, and debate whether or not he should just go to Cassie's home.
And what's he going to decide?
I think he's going to get up and he's going to start getting dressed and hope that by the time that he's finished getting ready, that he will hear from Cassie. But before then, he puts in a call to his foreman.
I'm sorry, his foreman?
Yeah, his next up.
Oh, yeah. So in your case, that would be Elisabetta.
Elisabetta, yeah. I wanted to call her Liz, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah. You will get a Google will answer the phone. Good evening.
I need to speak to Elisabetta, please.
Who may I say is calling?
Vincent.
One moment, sir. A couple of minutes later. Vincent, you're up early?
Yeah, I got some stuff to take care of this evening. Hey, I just kind of need to let you know what's going on. And so at that point, Vincent kind of essentially regurgitates what happened at the meeting the night previous. And then he goes, but we've got a little bit of something of a wild card here. And I need to know what you can find out for me, if possible.
Regarding?
Someone called Teddy. I think she's one of the dogs.
Is that all you have, Teddy? Is that a he or a she?
That's a she. And he looks like a, I mean, not to put it too bluntly, but I mean, she looks like a drunk truck driver. Just to, you know, call it as is. She apparently from the meeting, she's the kid of somebody named Carter. If you know anything about that.
And what do these people mean to the family?
Let's just say that our interests may or may not align with theirs, but more along the lines of the avenues of which I'm pursuing. She may be a speed bump, and I want to ensure that she's not a speed bump.
I'll see if our people can find anything.
She was in the city about 5 years ago. I guess there was something that happened here not that long ago.
I'll look into it. You are aware that Atias wants to speak to you later?
I am very much aware. Do you know what it's about?
I assume he wants a report.
Well, all right then. I mean, I'll tell him what I know. Are you
concerned about your name being on that piece of paper?
I mean, my name's been on a lot of pieces of paper. I mean, at this point, it's kind of par for the course. My name's on
but has your name ever been on a piece of paper carried by a Baali before?
No, but I mean, there's a first time for everything, right?
You know to be careful if you go rooting around for Baali souls, right?
Well, that's what I was going to talk to you about as well. I'm going to be receiving some leftovers, so to speak. And I may need someone to watch over me while I interrogate him from beyond the shroud. You feeling up to it?
Let me see if I can shake myself loose. If not, I'll send somebody.
Very well. And none of the retainers, they don't get it. They
No, of course. I'll send you a family member.
I'm trying to do it just before dawn, if possible, when the shroud's weakest.
Anything else?
That's it. I'll see the boss man later tonight.
She does this infuriating thing she does where she just hangs up without saying goodbye.
We're Italian. We're not Irish. You don't just hang up the fucking phone.
By the time you're finished, you notice on a silver platter, there's a little box that has been delivered to you. There's a little vial inside with what looks like ash and some remnants of gooey stuff. There's also like jewelry, things of that nature.
This will work nicely. He puts the box in he puts the box in his coat pocket, and then he goes and he checks his phone again, and then goes and gets in the shower.
Meanwhile, I don't know. Do you and Hayden have sleepovers, or?
I would imagine he probably spends the night.
And so you wake up, and as usually happens when he sleeps over, you wake up and you find him naked, sitting in the lotus position, somewhere where the moonlight's coming in. He's drawn some symbols on the floor in chalk. He's got a few little things, little knickknacks, things like that. There's a little bit of something that smells really foul, kind of burning, and there are little bits of things you don't really recognize. Some look like bones, some look like other things, and he's sitting there in that lotus position.
What size are those bones?
Little.
Thank you. Yeah. I would imagine this is probably not the first time she has seen this from Hayden.
No, that's how he's usually found.
Yeah, so she kind of moves around him and tries to not disturb him. But as she does this, I think she'll sort of throw a glance over her shoulder and very quietly mention, I'm a little bit nervous about this Baali shit.
Without opening his eyes, he'll say, you should be.
They know what I am, Hayden.
Well, in a strange fashion, that's probably best that they know and not other people, because the Baali are really not going to care.
I haven't told anybody else. I only told Teddy.
You haven't told Cassie?
No, I was waiting for a good time to do that. I haven't really found the opportunity to tell her.
It's never really a good time. You kind of just have to rip the Band-Aid off at some point.
Yeah, I just don't want her to freak out.
Well, how much is she gonna know?
Well,
is she gonna freak out? If you say I'm a follower of Set, is she gonna be like, oh no, you are an agent of chaos and corruption? Or is she just gonna be like, I have no clue what that means, would you like to go get a Twinkie?
I don't know. Cassie's not stupid. Far from it.
No, but she also doesn't know much.
She's gonna read.
Well, she's a close friend of yours.
Yeah.
If Teddy knows at some point, it's gonna come out. And now you got another problem because you got that Giovanni sniffing around.
That's my other issue. So I have the Baali. I have weird trust issue to figure out with Cassie, and now the Giovanni, who are going to know that I am a follower of Set. And I haven't told Teddy about the temple. You're the only one who knows.
Well, I don't think you should either. I mean, it's one thing to know that your friends are into some kind of freaky cult. It's another thing to know that you're the high priestess and you're setting up a place to fucking hold the rituals.
Yet you're still here.
Yeah, but I'm curious.
Should I be nervous about that curiosity, Hayden?
Well, yeah, I'd be very disappointed in you if you weren't, but, you know, it's not the only thing keeping me here.
Yeah, I bet. Look, if the Baali starts sniffing around the temple, I've got big problems.
The Baali are a big problem just in general. My regent is going to take this Baali situation very seriously, and it's very, very possible that we're just going to take care of it. So I would say do your best to do what the prince has asked you to do for now. If you got any leads, you know when you can call, follow it up, try to get some information. Anything you can do to help will be great. I am going to go back to the chantry tonight. I'm going to talk to Regent Rojas. I'm pretty sure she's going to tell us that we got to burn this place down to get those fuckers, and that's probably what we're going to do.
Wait. Burn what down?
It's just a figure of speech. We're not going to burn anything down. We're just going
God, I thought you were talking about my temple.
No, the regent doesn't really care about your temple.
Okay, well, that's one problem solved, I guess. And she's going to pick up her phone, and she's going to text Cassie and Teddy in their like little girly pop group chat. Can we talk with like a several question marks?
I would like to note that because of the phone that Cassie has, she only gets them in separate texts. So if you guys are going back and forth, it does take Cassie a little bit of time to piece together the conversation.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Teddy doesn't have a phone yet.
Ah, shit, you're right.
Because she wouldn't take the bun.
All right, well then
Now, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
I think that she would probably text Cassie then just, we need to talk. Can you try and find Teddy? Love you lots. Mwah.
As you are sending kisses to everyone, AD Indian Prada send night moves to everyone. 2 night moves for everyone at the table from AD Indian Proud. Thank you, AD Indian Proud. Earlier, I think Sithi also made a donation. I'm going to say that, thank you very much, Sithi, for your donation. I'm going to say that it was good enough for a night move, and I think you were giving it to Cassie to Myriad. So I'm going to say, Myriad, you have an additional night move from Sithi. Thank you very much, Sithi. Sithi, God, I have trouble with that. It's because I'm French Canadian. Thank you very much, Sithi.
Just call him Smithy.
And Proud.
Nothing, don't worry about it.
City? No, it's not.
Smithy.
It's like he's like a Setite.
Oh, okay. What's wrong with being a Setite?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Nothing. As the 4 of you each head towards friends, contact friends, are worried about being ghosted, trying to get your act together for the evening, somewhere in a dark and smoky speakeasy, an old poet is reading some of his work. This poet, his name is Richard Latin, is a toreador, once primogenitor of Port Coburg. His greatest work is a manuscript that remains unpublished called Love, Labor, and Loss. And in this smoky speakeasy somewhere in downtown Chicago, he's busy reading from it as we see the 4 of you, Teddy making her way into town, heading towards Nora's, Cassie trying to figure out what Helena meant when she said, hey, you guys, when she was just talking to her. Helena hoping to meet up with Cassie sooner rather than later, and good old Vincent pacing in his apartment, looking at his phone every 2 minutes, refreshing. We kindred seldom say the word love. Oh, we believe ourselves to be the epitome of passion, the ferocious hunger that lives within us, the mark of unquenchable desire and lust, and etc., etc. But the truth is that we know little of love. How can we? Human beings, mortals, know well the pangs of hunger and the need to feed themselves to survive. But, with a rare few exceptions, their source of sustenance is not also their source of love and desire? How can we truly love that which we need to kill to survive? Even the humans separate their animals into two categories, too cute to eat and too ugly to live. Thus, how can we speak of love when at any moment we may be forced by that greater force within us to do something drastic to survive? To consume that which we proclaim to love, capital L, above all else? We, kindred, by our very nature, can truly love only one thing: ourselves. And one that places oneself above all else makes a mockery of the word love when soiling it with their breath. We are not human, and perhaps it would behoove us to come to that realization, lest we continue to inflict unnecessary heartaches upon ourselves. Some addled-brained mortal once said, "Live, love, laugh." Well, my dears, 1 out of 3 ain't bad. Teddy, you walk into the little lane that serves as the back alley to where Nora lives. You see cats everywhere, number of dogs now. She used to not really take in dogs, but I guess she's changed her mind in the past 5 years. Number of dogs, there are pigeons, there you see a couple of owls, there's some ferrets, there's a fucking beaver sitting on the plastic picnic table eating a carrot, and a coyote. He's a little old, a little frail, and he's kind of just lying in her backyard, and you know that this was the former leader of the pack, and Nora would not let the pack turn on him and finish him off, and took him in instead so that the pack could go on without him. As you approach, he lifts up his old shaggy head and sees you and kind of recognizes you, though it's clear that his eyes are not what they used to be, and even his sense of smell is kind of gone. He looks quite pitiful, but still trying to make it through another night. He lifts up his head as you approach, and he's completely looking in the wrong direction as he sniffs the air and waits for your hand.
Teddy kneels down beside him, holds her hand out.
He puts his paw in your hand.
She's gonna lean her head forward and press her forehead against his. Hey, old boy. She reaches into her other pocket with her free hand and she pulls out a little treat, a little meat treat. Offers it over to him.
He sniffs at it and then very gingerly starts to gnaw at it. That's not pork, is it? He gets terrible stomach aches when he eats pork.
No, it's not. It's beef. Is that okay? Can he have beef?
Oh, yeah, he's still okay with beef. It's just the pork doesn't sit terribly well with him.
How are you? She stands up and turns towards Nora.
Nora's there as always in her big overcoat with her scarf around her head and her big, old lady glasses, even though she looks like she's 21 at best. She comes over, gives you a big hug. Boz said you were back in town?
Yeah, just came in last night.
It's nice to see you. You just passing through? You gonna put up your feet for a while?
I think I'm here for a while.
Did you find what you were looking for out there?
I don't know. I don't think I found all of it, but I think I found a piece of it. Does anyone ever find everything they're looking for? Is that real?
Well, I think a lot of people have trouble, first of all, knowing what they're looking for. And then if you solve that riddle, then you start trying to piece it together, but I don't know. I mean, look at us. We got hundreds and hundreds of years ahead of us, and I'm still here feeding strays, and you're out there running around making a name for yourself in truck stops all over the Southern American West.
You heard about that.
Well, you know, boss keeps us up to date. He picks up a lot on his trips.
Yeah, well, someone's got to take care of those girls out there, you know?
Yeah, no one took care of you when you needed it, right?
Yeah, they didn't, did they?
No. Eventually, you'll either kind of get discouraged by the unending amount of them who need your help, or you'll figure you've done your bit, and then you'll want to find something else to do. And, you know, especially our blood, Gangrel, we're very restless. I mean, of course, I'm the exception to the rule. I've been here for God knows how long, but most of our brethren are very restless. They like to run and chase. And I think the key is to coming to realize that the chase is the point, especially for us. And that it doesn't really matter what you're chasing or whether or not you get it, as long as you have the freedom to keep chasing.
That's beautifully put, Nora.
I read it on the back of something at some point. I don't remember what it was. Box of borax or whatever. Have you seen Lee yet?
No. I'm looking for him. Have you seen him?
Let's check his house. He still lives at the same address.
Yeah, I was there, but someone I didn't recognize. Some biker-looking guy. He was real beat up. Looked like shit. I don't know. I got the fuck out of there. I wasn't gonna ask any questions. Figured I would come check in with you, make sure you're okay. See if maybe you knew anything.
I'm on Kidori. I mean, I got all my friends. I got my garden. I mean, I don't eat any vegetables or any food really, but it's fun to just keep busy. I got my knitting, and you know, just keeping busy. If he wasn't at his home, you might find him. I think he likes to hang out at Salt Creek, the nature preserve. It's in Westchester. It's a bit west of here. You might find him there. He goes there once in a while. He that boy was sad when you left. That boy was sad.
I'm not so good with goodbyes, so I knew I would see him again. I didn't want him to convince me to stay, you know, and I felt like maybe he would, and I just needed to leave.
I don't know. He's Gangrel. I think more than anybody, he would understand the need to run.
Yeah. I really hope he's not holding on to that.
He got busy. I mean, he was kind of listless a bit for a while after you left. He hung out here a lot, just kind of talking. At some point, he kind of seemed to like make a decision about something. Then I saw him a bit less and less. I heard he's been running around with some of the others in our clan. The prince has us like watching the port and whatnot for Sabbat intrusions. Last I heard, in fact, he was involved in some fracas with the Scourge, some Sabbat pack they ambushed a few nights ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he needed something to do and he found it. It's kind of like me, you know, I just try to keep busy. Started learning how to macrame, which is a whole nother thing. I made this owl. It's amazing, with like wooden these little wooden things for the eyes and a little branch. It's fantastic. I'll show it to you later. If you need some tea towels, I got like a stack of them. So, yeah. Look, you know, he's a bit older than us. He's been around a while. 5 years probably be like a long week to him or something. So, you know, let's say hi.
Yeah. I miss him. So, I hope he's not too mad at me.
Yeah, well, boys, you never know. One day it's like I would grab the moon out of the sky and offer it to you on a silver platter, and the next it's... What's your name again?
Well, I hope that's not the case, but yeah.
Seems like a good one. Unlike some others I've known. Just...
Can I ask you something, Nora?
Yeah, of course.
Have you heard anything strange going on in the city?
There's always something strange going on. See, it's just Chicago. This place has like been cursed since the beginning of time. The amount of fucking fires we've had here, jeez.
Yeah. But I mean, really strange. I don't know. Even what I'm talking about, honestly, I don't really
Teddy.
understand what's going on, but yeah?
Teddy, 5 years ago, before that night in the cemetery, someone had come to tell you that within 5 years you'd transform into a coyote and run with them. You would have been like, that's fucking impossible. But now you're seeing that there's a lot that is possible. So when I tell you that there are things now that I could tell you exist out there that you would say that's impossible, I want you to remember a lot of things are possible. Our kind has been here since before. And things that live that long and hide in darkness that long, some of those things, they become something terrible. And thankfully for us, they sleep. Some of them for a very, very long time. But even when asleep, their will is stronger than the will of those who walk around. And they can affect things and change things and control things. For the most part, they're just playing silly games, and if you keep your head low and just mind your own business. But I get the feeling that maybe you got drawn into it without wanting to.
Yeah.
She points around the yard. See all these scoundrels, all these bandits, all these outlaws that congregate here? Each one of them, weak, dirty, famished. When they get here, look at them now. A veritable pack of revolutionaries, ready to take on anything. I pity the fool who steps in here trying to hurt me. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. You got a good pack to run with. It'll be all right.
Yeah, I think I got a pretty good one. Human, well, kindred. I don't think I'll ever get used to that.
You know. Someone somewhere decided we needed to be called something. At some point, you know, around the 1400s, 1500s, they started deciding to like make rules and laws and organizations and whatnot. And then when you start making organizations, you got to give name to shit so people know what you're talking about. They got to make merch, whatnot. Did I tell you about my Etsy store?
Etsy.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it. Like, don't worry about it. I'll tell you all about it later, but there's money to be made out there.
There really is. I'm so proud of you. You're really stepping out of your comfort zone.
Well, you know.
Do you even get Wi-Fi here? She like looks around.
What's that?
The internet?
Oh yeah. My neighbor down there has got the internet. It's like in a box, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I go there and I tell him what I want to sell and I show him and he like takes pictures of them and then he puts them in the box and then I think there's something that lives in the box that takes it. No, I know what the internet is, Teddy. Come on, crying out loud.
Look,
I'm old. I'm not adult.
All right. Okay.
Hey, kid. I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Really. I mean, it was great out there, just doing my own thing, but 5 years is still a long time to me, at least, and I missed everybody.
You need a place to stay or are you sleeping rough?
I stay with my pack.
Yeah.
There's a den out in the park. It's pretty nice, honestly. Learned a couple new tricks out on the road, so.
I would imagine. You ain't done learning. You're going to be able to do some stuff at some point. You're going to be like, oh boy. I thought they only did that in the storybooks. You started turning into mist yet? My sire could do that. That's the best trick ever. Like when you're an introvert, you're at a party and you want to leave and you just don't want to be fucking impolite. Turn into mist, slip out through the crack in the door.
I haven't seen that one yet. I'll have to work on that.
Yeah, you know, take some time.
Can you turn into mist?
I can barely grow like fangs. And she looks at you and there's like one fang that comes out. I got a couple tricks, you know, but it's never been like a pursuit of mine. You got to practice those things. It's like anything else. You want to get good at macrame, you got to do a lot of macrame. I kind of like do macrame 1 week, needle point the next, I knit the next, you know, like kind of dabble.
Can I ask you something serious?
Yeah. Sure.
It's this word I heard. And it seemed to put everybody on edge. And I just, you know.
Oh, was that Bitcoin? Yeah, that thing. Man, when that hit.
No,
I should never have bought so much of that.
I just, you know, you were an amazing mentor. And I trust you. But do you know anything about the Baali?
Warn a girl. Jesus. I don't know enough that might not be fabrication. You're still friends with who's that weird little one with the black lipstick that like keeps that store full of fucking lawn gnomes and shit like that? Helena?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's still palling around with that warlock?
Warlock?
Yeah, the Tremere. That tall, gangly dude with the tattoos on his neck.
Yeah, apparently they're fucking now.
Well, you know, if I was younger. But his kind would know. So talk to him or one of the other ones if you want. You're more likely to get. No, who else might know? I don't know if you want to get involved with them though, but you know about the Giovanni family? The funeral parlor pushers?
I think I know one of them. Real spaghetti western.
I don't really mingle with them myself, but you know, apparently they talk to the dead and stuff like that, so.
They smell really bad.
Hey. I hang around with stray cats, like, nothing offends me.
You know, I feel like cat piss and dead bodies pretty different.
Yeah, admittedly. But I'd ask one of them They're more likely to know than me. I mean, all I could tell you would be like the spook stories I've heard, but the one thing I do know, even our people talk about those people with a hushed tone and in broad fucking lamplight.
So they're like the boogeymen.
I think the boogeyman's afraid of them.
Good to know.
Yeah, don't get mixed up in that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stay out of that.
Prince, the Scourge, the sheriff, they're gonna take care of that shit. Like, above our pay grade, kid.
Right. I gotta go find Lee, but it's been really great seeing you, and I'm gonna try to come back more
Hold
often.
on. She runs inside the house. She comes back. Here, she's got this nice pair of wool socks that she made. Here. If you're sleeping out there, it'll keep you warm. And she presses them in your hand.
Thank you.
You know, you're tired. Nothing like a nice pair of dry socks makes you feel like you slept 12 hours.
Yeah.
Hey, come back, all right?
Yeah.
And like try to keep it to a year or two maximum this time.
Yeah, I'll try. Be careful out there. Just something feels off, and I don't know, just stay safe, Nora. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have you to come back to and ground
worry about me.
every once in a while.
I got the biggest pack in town.
Yeah.
The beaver looks at you funny. Did you mean Maurice?
Maurice.
The beaver eats his carrot.
She looks down at the beaver.
Boz brought him back. He did some run into Ontario like last month. This thing crawled into his trailer. Dropped him off with me. He's got a weird accent. I think he's Canadian.
Oh. Interesting.
He's nice though, very polite.
Does he like maple syrup? I heard the Canadians really like maple syrup.
I don't know. This one likes carrots. And look, and he finishes the carrot and he takes the little nub and he climbs down and he goes and he opens the trash can and he puts it in. Very polite.
He's so polite. You should get him some denim. Maybe that's your calling, Nora. You can
Maybe.
make beaver clothes.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe. A little Canadian tuxedo.
that would be amazing. I would
Right.
pay to see that. I think
Well,
while you're
you
on
know.
this Etsy thing, maybe you need to set up a TikTok too.
Oh,
Helena could help you out with that, I'm sure. She seems like the kind of gal, you know?
yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm going to finish setting up my OnlyFans and then I'll get to the TikTok. I'm kidding. I don't have an OnlyFans. I don't even know what OnlyFans is.
All right, Nora, I gotta leave. But
I love you, kid.
yeah, thank you for everything.
You stay safe out there.
Yeah. There's some real creeps out there, huh?
Well, yeah.
She's
No, I'm
gonna
good.
she's gonna turn and as she starts to turn and walk away, she's gonna use Shape of the Beast and she's gonna shift into her coyote form, which I believe I need to use a blood point to do so.
Yeah. I don't know if we'd rolled your blood last time.
We didn't.
So go ahead and do that now, my friends, all of you.
D10.
Yeah, give me a D10.
That is a 9.
I got a 6.
We'll say if you roll below 3 or below, you can have 3.
8.
Cassie full. You take off running as a coyote, feeling the exhilaration of the form, the speed, the sleekness. Feeling a different part of you get satisfied by what you're doing in the form you're in, while the other part recedes a little bit. The only thought you have is, man, what if Teddy from 5 years ago could see you now? He'd be horrified. Pretty much. Helena, were you heading over to Cassie's?
It would depend on what Cassie's response was.
So Cassie, you're sitting there, you got messages from Helena and you got messages from Vincent.
I'm very popular.
You're very popular. Your phone's blowing up.
I don't know that my phone can handle that, to be honest. I think that it's probably going to die at some point now.
You're losing minutes.
I'm losing my minutes. You guys got to be careful. I'm going to text back to Helena. Have to go to school to drop off book. Meet after? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Smiley face.
I love her
Love you,
so
come on.
much. Oh God, I love her so much. I think Helena would respond back with, yeah, that's good. I'm gonna pester Hayden, I think. And as she's like texting back, she's like giving Hayden the finger from like behind him.
Cassie takes that as an innuendo and then sends a winky face back.
Not like that. Not like that. Not like that. Not like that.
She does the winky face, but adds more parentheses.
I guess then as she's like sort of waiting for Cassie to do that thing, I think she would probably send a call out to Samir, or at least a text message to Samir.
Well, which one is it?
It's a call. She'll call him, and she's got her back turned to Hayden, or has gone into another room if he's still there.
Samir does this annoying thing where whenever you call him, he answers halfway through the first ring, all the time.
Oh, that's very annoying. Oh, I don't.
Living hello.
Please stop doing that.
Answering the phone.
I don't have time to explain to you why that's annoying. We have some fucking shit.
Would you elaborate?
She'll go through everything that happens with the prince and the Baali. And when she kind of finishes it up and rounds up the conversation, this is a problem, Samir.
Yes. Well, I can reach out to Beata, the head of security at the Seven Sisters, and ask if they've seen or heard anything about this person. You have a description, I assume?
Did she have a description?
Yeah, you were given
okay.
one by the clerk before you left a description.
Yeah, she'll give a description to him.
The description reads, a androgynous person about 5'8", short black hair, wearing a red leather collar, fishnet shirt, a black leather jacket, and whose face, half of the face was tattooed the color of copper, and the other half was kind of freaky.
Do you got that, Samir?
Yeah. I will give Beata a call and see if they know anything or if they've seen this person hanging around. I think it would be time to talk to Bahari. Would you want me to do it, or would you want to do it?
I'll do it.
Do you want me to go and take a look at this other post office?
I do, but I want to be explicitly clear right now. Be careful. Don't go alone. Take another person with you.
All right. I'll report what I find in a few hours. But yes, talk to Bahari. She will need to know.
And I cannot stress this enough. Just be careful, on your guard. I don't know what this means for the temple or for any of my fucking friends. And I don't know the magnitude of what we're looking at.
You may not be amenable to it, but you might query your boyfriend about whether he might...
He's not my boyfriend. Can we be clear about
your
that,
special
please?
someone, about whether or not he might be willing to provide wards for the temple. However, that may be a bridge too far, but you know him best.
I think I could wrangle something. All right, let me go talk to him. And again, just be fucking careful, man. I can't afford to lose you.
I will. You be careful too. I will contact you again in a few hours.
All right. And she'll hang up the phone, and she will sort of slink back over towards Hayden, and I'm assuming he's in that same spot still.
Yeah, he's kind of coming out of his trance and sort of relaxing a little bit.
And she's going to make a show of hanging up the phone and sort of walking back towards into his line of sight.
Yes.
She is silent, but Helena is giving the big doe eyes. Can we talk?
Can I get dressed first? Because you're freaking me out.
Yeah.
He gets up, picks up his little things, puts them away in his little case, pulls on some pants and a shirt, sits down on the edge of the bed. Is it over then, Margaret?
Oh, shut up. This is serious.
What is it? Come here. And he taps his lap. Come here.
She'll kind of slink over there and she'll sit in his lap and is still giving him those big wide eyes. I need a favor.
Of course.
And she's using the little baby raspy voice, just to be very clear. So, I'm sending somebody to go figure out some shit about the Baali.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think maybe you can, I don't know, Hayden, do you think that it would be all right if maybe you just help me out? Big favor. And I'll owe you huge.
Just spit it out.
A word on the temple.
He gets up, you slide off, hit the ground.
She sort of
Who put this idea in your head? Was it Samir?
It doesn't matter. Would you do it?
Oh, God.
Please? Pretty please? With sugar on top, and I'll be extra nice to you.
Oh, my God. I'm going to vomit. Stop. Yes, of course. I'll do it.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Jesus. Yeah, that baby stuff doesn't.
Yes,
well,
it does.
I am kind of turned on, actually.
Yeah,
But
I know. I felt it.
do we have time before we...
Yeah, I gotta go meet Cassie, but that's fine.
You know me. I only need 3 minutes anyways.
I know.
And he reaches out and he grabs you by the face and he kisses you, and as we fade to black, because we're not that kind of show.
Fight. Kiss.
Somewhere from above on his perch, Gilgamesh watches.
I don't like that the snake watches. No, the snake's not allowed to watch.
Watching.
You will get a message while you are FUCKING. Helena.
I don't know how to read.
You'll get a message from Samir who will say that he spoke to Beata at the Seven Sisters Club. She will say that the person in question broke into the club a few nights ago, left a dozen decapitated snakes in the middle of the dance floor, and wrote in blood on one of the walls, "We see all the snakes, the children of Anath, and we remember."
That's not good. That's not very good for the Setites of Chicago. Ruh-roh.
Cassie, there's a guy at the other end of this phone waiting for some kind of message. Do you give him release or do you just let him twist?
I think after answering both Elliot and Helena, Cassie is sort of staring at the last text message, and she like starts to type something, and then backspace. No. And then she'll start to type something.
You see like the little 3 dots that someone typing, and then it disappears.
And then I think after a half an hour of doing this, she just closes her phone.
Right.
And what are you going to do, Cassie?
I'm going to gather the book that Elliot had requested, as well as some other, just like my binder for my theoretical review paper. And I'm going to head to school.
Okay. I also want to say that Creep, you received a night move from Raven. I think it was the beaver talk. She's Canadian, so she knows the beaver is a noble animal. Vincent, it was clear she was answering back, and then nothing.
I just, sad face emoji. Then he flips over.
Unfortunately, Cassie doesn't get it because she has no more minutes.
I don't think Vincent would have let her have a minute-based plan anymore at this point.
She should not have any more minutes, but unbeknownst to her, you bought like 1,000 minutes. And so
yeah, right. I just periodically just keep going, recharging it.
It's like, this phone's great. It never runs out of minutes.
Until he hears back from Cassie, or until his patience runs out. He's going to put in a call, though, to the Seven Sisters.
The phone rings. Seven Sisters, how may we serve you?
Hey, is Penny there? Let me talk to Penny.
Who may say is calling?
Her daddy.
Interesting. And then you get the girl from Ipanema goes walking on. Then, yeah. This ain't my daddy, I know for sure.
Yeah, I know. It's Vincent.
Hey Vince.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, what you got? And you hear her gum pop.
What is going on?
Fucking what's going on where? I don't know. I got a fucking rash under my left armpit. I fucking like
hey,
falling out.
No. We're not gonna talk about the side effects of your glaucoma medication. All right, so you had any devil fuckers come through the club here recently?
Honey, have you seen our clientele?
No, you know her. She like got like half a fucking face tattooed and shit like that.
Honey, have you seen our clientele?
Listen, my patience is wearing thin.
You're always saying that, Vinny, but you're still always a gentleman.
Ever.
You were a gentleman back in Bensonhurst. You're a gentleman now.
Penny, we have made this very clear. Do not ever call me Vinny. I am not one of those fucking greaseball goombas. My name is Vincent or Vince. One of the two. Yeah. Never Vinny. Ever. or I will burn that fucking building down around you. It is about respect. I have told you what my name is, and that is what you will address me as.
All right, fine. I'm sorry. You know I respect you.
Anyway, have you had any dealings or any incidents with any of the fucking devil worshippers?
Well, I don't know nothing about no devil worshiper, but I tell you something. The other night, someone broke in here and left like a dozen decapitated snakes out in the middle of the dance floor.
Somebody trying to send a message?
Well, I would guess so, because after that, I heard Sophia talk to Anne-Marie, and Anne-Marie was saying she'd have to call, and I quote, Indy and see what she wants to do about this.
Indy? Like Indiana?
Indy. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think it was Indiana Jones, I'll tell you that much.
Well, I fucking certainly hope not. I got some relics and I plan on keeping them. Anyway,
Vinny, you are a fucking relic.
I am going down there to murder you right now. And he hangs up the phone.
You can hear a penny drop.
He like straight up like he like physically looks down at like his dresser, opens the drawer, and there is a gun sitting there, and he's like, I'm gonna use it on her. I'm gonna use it on her. That's what's gonna happen. I'm not Vinny. Don't ever call me fucking Vinny. You don't do it.
What do you do after that? You go kill anyone?
Tempted. What time is it roughly? How close to 4 in the morning is it getting?
Well, it's not even like you're barely like scratching like 10 o'clock at night.
All right.
No, wait a minute. When are you supposed to meet? 8 o'clock, Myriad? Yeah, so it's coming up on 8.
Okay. So I did not get the message about the meeting. So I'm just going to...
Are you feeling left out from the girls?
No. I'm just going to text Cassie and say I'm coming by the apartment. But first, I'm going to stop off at a butcher's and get a tomahawk steak.
No problem. Cassie, you are in the... you're walking towards... across the square in the middle of where the university is, heading towards the entrance to the library when your phone pings and you get that message from Vincent.
I flip open the phone, look at it, go, fuck, and then close it and put it back in my pocket.
As you approach, you see Elliot, whom you just texted, come down from the library where she was studying. You're a lifesaver, Cassie. When I found out the book was checked out, I started panicking, but then when the librarian told me it was you, I was like, Cassie's nice. She'll probably let me borrow it. And she probably won't even have ripped out the pages that I need out of it.
No.
Thank you, your lifesaver. How are you doing on that paper?
If Elliot looks in my eyes, there's panic.
You okay? Hey, you want to sit down? Hey, come over here. Let's have a seat.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. I can handle it, though. I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, how's everything going with you?
Oh, I'm fine. Look, do you want to go get coffee or something?
I think Cassie sort of, like, furrows her brow a bit because she's only really interacted with Elliot in, like, a classroom sort of setting, like as peers, and this seems like a friendship thing. And she wants to say no, but she's gonna say yes instead.
And just as you go to say that, you suddenly get this feeling that you're being watched. You literally feel almost like for a moment you're out of your body and you're floating above and you're watching you and Elliot standing in a darkened doorway. And you feel a strange kind of dark presence that just sort of envelops you for a moment and then it goes away.
And Cassie sort of like looks over her shoulder.
Students walking across the square. Someone hurrying over to catch a bus. You okay?
Yeah, sorry. Just you just feel like someone's watching you?
It's happened a few times actually recently. It's very weird. You get that too?
Yeah. Occasionally. More recently than I'd care to say.
Yeah. Me too the other day. Anyways. Yeah, you wanna you wanna go get coffee or something?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure. I love a frappuccino.
Oh, okay. Well, I think the campus cafe is closed at this time, but there's a Columbus coffee like just around the corner if you want to go.
Do they have frappuccinos?
No, I'm pretty sure they can hook you up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's go there.
You head over to the coffee shop, and sit down. Bunch of students around, mostly people studying, things like that. A couple of teachers maybe grading some papers. You get your frappuccino. She gets herself a chai latte. You grab a little seat in the corner. It's a very strange feeling, I guess, perhaps for Cassie. This kind of mundane, sitting down with a friend kind of thing. The two of you talk a little bit about the class, about Dr. Elizondo, about sort of what each of you is studying, things of that nature. After a little while, she says, I'm sorry, I don't think I know, but are you from around here originally?
Oh yeah, I've been here all my life, really.
Oh. And you didn't want to go somewhere else to study? Like, I'm from San Francisco originally.
Oh really?
Yeah.
How's San Francisco? I bet it's a lot warmer than it is here.
Very hilly.
Yeah, that too.
It's strange. It is warmer, but like in January, it like rains like solid the entire month. It can get on your nerves a little bit, but it certainly doesn't get as windy and cold as it does here.
Mm-hmm. No, I've been here all my life. I sort of bounce between some foster homes, going to different neighborhoods, but
Oh, really?
mostly just here, Chicago.
Oh. I mean, is this like a sore, like, do you mind talking about this or?
No, not anymore. Sometimes parents aren't really capable of taking care of their children, and it's for the best if everyone just parts ways.
So you know who your parents were then?
Oh yeah, I think my dad's in jail right now, actually.
She kind of seems taken aback a little bit, like that kind of like intimate level of that revelation, and like you can see that she's not uncomfortable, but she's just kind of surprised by it because you don't look like someone who would, just all of a sudden say. So she laughs a little bit, and she goes, I can't tell, Cassie, if you're putting me on or not, but
oh no, that's not a joke.
Okay, and so like, did you not have any family? Did you just grow up in the foster homes?
Yeah, so I was in the foster homes until I was 16, and then my mother April took me in.
Oh, April, that's a beautiful name. You still in contact with her? You still live with her? I guess if you live in Chicago, you might still live with your mom.
At this, Cassie sort of draws back into herself a little bit. No, we don't. I don't live with her anymore. I have my own apartment.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a dog too.
Yeah, well, I saw you with him once. You were walking across the square, and I saw you from one of my other classes out through the window. He's beautiful. What's his name?
Prince. The school, the security, they don't really like me bringing him on campus anymore. He growls at people a lot, and they said that he is a danger to student welfare.
Yeah, you know what's a danger to student welfare? Fucking tuition. And you don't see
That's
them
what I'm
fucking blocking
saying.
that.
Too much. The financial aid packet, not very good. Not very good. Are you in debt? I'm in so much debt.
I'm in fucking so much debt I can barely see out of my own eyeballs. They call it a packet. They should be called a sachet because that's what it is.
I hope that this degree is worth it.
Yeah.
I give her a little thumbs up.
I don't know. World's kind of weird. Hey, you know what? You know who you should meet? I have a friend. Like, you remind me a lot of her. She's a lot like you. I guess I attract the type. You are very much like her. You totally love her. You should meet her. Her name's Frances.
Oh.
You'd totally get along with her.
Frances?
Yeah.
What's she look like?
She's got a reddish blonde hair, round glasses, kind of slim, petite, she's very cute. She's very cute, but she's kind of she's a little bit kind of bookish, I guess. Like, she wears the cardigans and she's always kind of like hiding a little bit, and she's kind of very, very shy. But once you get her a little bit out of her shell, she's like a lot of fun. She's kind of like you, like, you come across as kind of very reserved and all that, but here you are telling me about your dad being in jail, and so you're a lot of fun too, and I think the two of you would hit it off.
Oh yeah, we should definitely have like coffee like we're having right now. And I think at this point the synapses in Cassie's brain are firing as she remembers the name Frances from the list listed with Helena, and the description of Frances versus Helena, because Helena has red hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the connections are being made as Cassie's like, yeah, we should definitely have coffee. That would be really cool.
Okay, well, she lives out in Gary, but she comes in a couple nights a week for her classes. So I saw her 3 nights ago. She was here with her father and her mother, and I don't know if he was her brother. He was black. I mean, that doesn't mean anything these days. But
adopted?
He was kind of fabulous. You should have seen him. He was fabulous. Oh. Maybe her mother was sexy. Her father, oh my God, her father.
Yeah.
Like, when you picture sort of the guy in his backyard with the big pool and the big, he's got the pellet grill, and he's got
he's grilling, he's flipping them burgers. Yeah,
and he's got those Docker shoes on, and he's got the shirt, and he's got the shirt that's just a little too tight, for his thing, and he
little short shorts.
Yeah, like, I totally didn't picture her family like that, but yeah, he was kind of funny though, and he's British, I think.
Oh, really? And he settled in Gary, Indiana?
Yeah.
Why there?
I don't know. Who knows? I mean,
place is kind of a shithole, isn't it?
What?
It's a little bit of a shithole.
Yeah, it's kind of like the devil lives there or something.
Oh. Well, I'd like to meet your friend.
Well, look,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm nervous about meeting new people.
Probably...
This is a lot.
I understand. Trust me, I understand. I got a quota, like 2 people a week, and this week it was you, and I'm very glad, Cassie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and get to work on it. I gotta finish this paper by tomorrow. I will leave this book for you with Dr. Elizondo so you can get it back tomorrow. And I'm assuming Frances is gonna be back in town, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. She usually comes in every couple of days. And is it okay if I text you?
Yeah, I'm gonna write my number on a napkin and sort of slide it over to her.
I texted you earlier. It's okay. I have your number, Cass. Oh no, that's right. She sent you a message to the school thing. Oh, that's great. All right. And she rips the paper and she starts writing, and she's like, "What am I doing?"
Crazy.
She starts writing and she goes, "What am I doing?" And she picks up her phone and she texts you, and then she goes, "Here, so you can have my number." And so she sends you a little happy face with a little.
I sent her a little kitty face, so a little
and
then a 3.
Then a 3.
Yeah, kitty.
All right, awesome. Look, this is great. All right, cool. Yeah, you're cool. Cassie, you're very cool. I'm glad we got to talk tonight. See you in a couple days.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Take care of yourself. She will pick up the book, and turn off, and leave.
As soon as like she's out the door, I'm messaging Helena. Francis? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
And as you finish sending that text, you hear a voice next to you that says, Cassie, I'm so glad to have run into you. You turn around and you see a man you've seen on campus before. You think he's a professor somewhere, but he's this tall, dark-skinned, very handsome man. He's wearing this long black coat. He says, I'm sorry, we don't know each other. My name is Loic Durand, history professor here.
I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. Can I call you something shorter?
Sure, you just call me Loic.
Wait, okay. Wait.
All
Got
right.
it.
Could I speak to you for a moment?
I'm going to like kick the chair that's like across from me out. So it's a little bit giving him room to sit if he wants.
He'll say, I was thinking perhaps we could take a short walk. I want to talk to you about more private things. And as he speaks, you start to understand, you realize he's also a kindred. He's also a vampire. And with the kind of aura that he's got, that he's projecting now, that you're feeling, you get a sense he's slightly older and more potent than you are, but not too much, but a little bit.
Can I use Auspex on him?
Yeah, you
To like see what his intent is?
You turn on your Auspex. Go ahead and make, and we're going to take a break here in just a second, friends. But we'll get this roll going here. Go ahead, and for Auspex, I believe you have to use, for heightened senses, it is, you're going to use aura perception?
Yeah, it's perception and empathy.
Yeah. So go for it. Your difficulty is 8.
So that's 1, 2, 3 successes.
3 successes. The color pattern that you are getting is light blue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pale, of course, because he's a vampire.
Okay.
Light blue, gold, and violet. And it is pale, as I said, because he's a vampire.
I'm gonna, okay. Where are we walking to?
Well, wherever you need to go. This shouldn't take very long. I just have a couple of questions for you.
Okay, I'm heading back to my apartment. Do you know where I live?
I have no clue where you live.
Okay, we're gonna keep it like that.
Okay, that's fine. I don't want you knowing where I live either.
Okay.
We'll just walk around the square and then you can go home.
Yeah, we can go to the bus stop.
All right, excellent. As you step out, he's like, as soon as there's no one around, he's like, I'm of Clan Tremere. I am the whip of the clan. I am the assistant of the regent.
What does whip mean? What is
Well, it means I'm the assistant of the regent. I'm the one who keeps the troops in lines, gets things done.
We were talking about a sex club last night, and so my mind just went to a really weird place.
I'm more of a casino man myself.
Oh.
Like cards.
Gambling?
Do you gamble? Do you play cards?
No, addiction runs in my family, so it's better if I don't do that.
Probably. I just wanted to talk to you about something. I'm a professor of history here at the college, and I was wondering, do you know what's happened to Professor Halling? And on that note, my friends, on that note, before the break, Cassie had been approached by a man called Loïc Durand, who is a teacher at the university, but also the whip of Clan Tremere. The whip is basically a position. The head of the clan is the primogen. Well, no, sorry. Let me rephrase that. The clans that have a primogen have a whip who's like the assistant to the primogen, who's the person who keeps, the clan line, this, that, the other, and replaces the primogen if needs be. Loïc Durand happens to be the primogen, the whip of Clan Tremere. He approached Cassie saying he needed to tell Cassie some stuff. As they are walking around the square, are you okay, Myriad?
Yeah.
As they are walking around the square, I sent Myriad the information that Loïc gave Cassie, and so we'll figure out what Cassie wants to do with that information later. Vincent, you're sitting in your car. Cassie's apartment is dark. You haven't gone so far as to go up there and knock on the door yet. You're waiting. You know she's got to come back at some point. You have, hey, Angry Nerd Girl, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, my friends. We are playing Vampire the Masquerade. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. Just so you know, this is a game intended for but a mature audience. We do deal with some dark themes, so just choose for yourself if you want to hang out with us and watch. We do appreciate if you do, and if you don't, have yourselves a good evening. But thank you, Angry Nerd Girl, for dropping in. We greatly appreciate the raid. You see, as you're sitting there, someone you recognize, a redhead, slithering her way down along the sidewalk, coming up to the apartment, about to head in. Do you do anything, or you let it go in?
I rolled down my window just enough. You are a long way off from the bookstore, ain't you?
Bleak, my headcanon is that Hayden drove Helena there. That's
yeah, no, that's fine. So
yeah.
You saw the BMW pull up?
Yeah.
Let's see what goes on in that car, actually, first, for a moment. Is you're about to guess, like, do you need a lift back, or?
No, I'll walk back.
Okay, well, you can text me if you want to see if I'm free, but I'm going to go catch up the Regent.
You have a key. You can just...
Oh, yeah, that's right. I have a key now.
Let yourself in.
Yeah, but if you need a lift, I'll come and pick you up.
Yeah, I know you will.
You know? Since we're going steady and all.
Oh, don't say that. Don't like that, Hayden. Not even a little bit. Actually.
I'm kidding. Get out.
Okay, bye. And she will, before she gets out, she'll kiss him on the cheek.
And he'll just, like, kind of look at you guys and give you a little wink.
Anyway.
Go spread lies and corruption.
Satan's little helper.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll get out and mosey along.
The car drives off, and that's when, Vincent, you lower your window and you say,
A little ways away from the bookstore, ain't you?
She will turn, almost like doing like an about face at you. And she will stare directly at... It's a Crown Vic that he drives, right?
Mm-hmm. A big-ass 95 Crown Vic.
And you will see the most despairing look at you. She just sighs of like pure exacerbation.
She ain't home. Get in. Might as well wait together.
It's a nice night.
No, it's not.
Seems nice enough to me.
He just like stares. He just stares at you.
She kind of just rolls her eyes and gets into the passenger seat. Hello, Vincent.
So, I mean, what brings you by this evening?
I was coming to see one of my friends and hang out. I know that she's not home.
Why would you come to a place when she's not home?
I'm going to wait for her to come home.
You were just gonna wait outside? That's a little weird.
It's a nice night, like I said.
That's fair. You, come across anything yet?
I've got my fingers in some places.
We're not talking about Hayden.
I've got some fingers in some places.
Just continuing to stay aloof. Fair enough. Well,
It's not aloof. It's just a fact. What do you want me to tell you? All my deepest, darkest secrets, Vincent?
no, trust me, there are deep, dark secrets of yours that I really don't want to know. I'm more or less pertaining to the investigation that we're charged with.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I've got some connections. You're not the only one.
Did you hear about all the severed snake heads at the Seven Sisters?
Yeah, I sure did. And I think that you would visibly see her sort of like tense up about that.
Bother you a little bit?
It doesn't bother you?
No, I have no disposition towards reptiles in any particular capacity, but
I have a pet snake.
that's
Gilgamesh.
yeah, Gil freaks me out. Okay, I just want you to know that.
Why? He's a good boy. He's never done anything wrong.
Because there's an intelligence behind those eyes that should not be there.
I think it's safe to say that at this point, Helena's probably been feeding Gil her blood to make a blood bond.
Oh yeah, that thing is all about you.
He loves me so very much.
I don't. You know what? I don't doubt that. Prince loves Cassie. You know, I mean, there's something to be said for having a good pet, but there's something wrong with that snack. It's a danger noodle beyond all compare.
Can you say the word again?
Snack.
Say it with me. Snake.
Snake.
Much better.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Snack. Anyway,
listen. The snake's my pet. I don't really give a shit if you like the snake or not. It bothers me that a bunch of snakes were killed.
Why? Do you think it means something? You're the you're the broad who owns the witchy cult store. You got anything in any of your books that might lead to this?
Probably. But I think my physical connections to people, I'm not talking about Hayden, probably would be a little bit more of service to us than a book at the moment.
What is the deal with that? Are you gonna join them?
The Tremere?
Yeah.
Why would I join the Tremere?
Because you're clanless?
Okay, but why the Tremere specifically?
Well, that's why I'm asking. You're banging the guy, so I mean, I figured, like, is that your shoe-in to try and get in with them? They ain't nice people.
I want to make this explicitly clear. I'm fucking Hayden. There, I admit it. But that is it. There's nothing else behind it. There's no there's no romance.
I'm not implying that there is. What I am implying is that you may be using it to try and, I don't know, become one of them. But what I'm trying to advise you is that becoming part of that fucked up pyramid that's not the one that you should really be going after.
What is your suggestion?
I mean, you're smart, you know your way around. You're good at running a business. You seem to have a steady flow of willing participants, you know, when it comes to your books and stuff. I mean, maybe you look at, but you're a little hot under the collar. I mean, just a touch, you know, but maybe the Bruja might appeal to you, or maybe the Ventru, perhaps get a little more of that cash flow action happening.
Thank God, I thought you were going to say the Giovanni.
No, you would not be welcome in this family in the slightest.
I wonder why.
Because you don't respect your elders. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
You obviously don't know me very well, Vincent.
I mean, you tell me to fuck off a lot. I'm your elder.
Yeah, but you kind of deserve it, I think.
And see, that's where you know, like, my elders, I may want to tell them to fuck off and they may deserve it, but I know not to, because that's like telling your grandpa, hey, go fuck yourself. Like, you just don't do it.
My grandpa was kind of a dick.
That's great, but where we come from, you don't do that.
Oh, well, c'est la vie, I guess.
Yeah.
As you say that, you see coming down the street, Cassie, what's the general sort of mood that you are in as you are approaching your home?
She looks distracted. Kind of gaze focused on the ground as she's walking, not really paying too much attention to everything going on around her.
I think Helena would get out of the car and she wouldn't like call out to Cassie per se, but she would kind of slink up next to her and like wrap her arm around hers. Hey.
Oh. Hey. Sorry, were you waiting a long time?
No, I just got here. Your boyfriend's here though.
Oh.
Vincent gets out of the car and has like this package wrapped in newspaper. Hey, your phone broke?
No. Just been busy.
Yeah? You good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you, were you guys talking?
Briefly.
If that's what you can call it.
Do you both want to come up to the apartment?
Sure.
I
got Prince a little treat.
Helena sort of falters and sort of looks at Vincent and then looks back at Cassie. Oh, fuck it. Yeah. Let's all go up together.
I mean, actually, if you wouldn't mind, Helena, I just need a couple of minutes with Cassie in private.
By all means.
As Cassie like removes her arm from Helena's, like she does give like a little squeeze. You can tell there's like tension. But she'll
Vincent, you know, like a hawk right now.
She'll kind of step she'll follow Vincent.
He literally just leads her over to his car and he just stands there and kind of like leans against it and he puts his hands in his pockets, kind of looking down at the ground. So, you know, when you go to message somebody, I can see when you're actively typing on the newer phones. And I kind of saw you actively typing for like 20 minutes, but you didn't send anything.
Yeah, I did do that. I did do that. I was just really busy. I had to go drop a book off to one of my classmates. Actually, that doesn't really sound like I was doing a whole lot.
Not particularly. No, it doesn't.
Oh.
Why don't you tell me what's really bothering you?
You know that like I have issues.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing when those issues come out in front of people.
Sweetheart, I need you to understand something. Okay? No matter how many cracks you have in your vase, I'll glue them back together. I'm not concerned with an episode or an outburst. What I am concerned with is how it caused you to drop to the ground.
Yeah, that was actually new. That's never happened before. There's like a lot of people talking to me all at once.
Listen, there's something going on with you. And you know that this concerns me. You have someone or something that has attached itself to you. And I don't want whatever that is to hurt you. You're gonna have outbursts. It's in your nature, and it's in your blood. You can't not let it'll just happen. I've seen people of your kind before. They're pretty rampant in New York, if you can imagine. We got a whole borough full of them. It's called Queens. But
Sounds like New York.
yeah, well, I mean, but what I'm getting at is you don't have to be afraid of that stuff or be afraid of letting me see it. I know it's going to happen.
It's just Teddy is used to it, and Teddy deals with it because Teddy's Teddy, and Helena deals with it because Teddy deals with it. I spoke to someone today. The Tremere Whip? He called himself the Whip.
A whip? The number 2. Okay, go on.
He talked to me about one of the fires. The one's the Malkavian.
Okay, go on.
A woman named Odette.
Odette? Do I know this name?
Not in the least.
Okay, who's this Odette?
A Malkavian. They said that she was trying to kill her Toreador lover, Floor. The weird thing is, I've spoken to Odette.
Oh?
In the hospital.
You talking about what a condos is at?
Mm-hmm.
Like she resides there?
From what the professor said is she's in a maze, locked away, deep hidden, trapped.
You know, if you're okay with it, I think the family can help with this one. The shroud goes by many names, and I'm pretty sure the maze is one of the ones that we've referred to it as.
I think I should ask Nicola first. She said I shouldn't talk about the professor and Knight and Mare. I shouldn't.
Who?
The 3 Malkavians.
Yeah?
She said I shouldn't talk about them.
Why?
Because of what they did. Because of everything they did to the clan. They're the reason that the clan is in such bad disrepair in the city.
Well, people fuck up sometimes. Being immortal doesn't change that.
I think I'd like your help.
Well, you've got it. And he walks up to her and literally pulls her into a hug. You don't have
She'll
to
wrap
hide.
her arms around your waist and just sort of head on your collarbone, just
You don't have to keep shit from me, doll. And he like pets the back of your head.
She nods.
It's okay. Now, what do you say we go give Prince this nice big steak and find out more about Helena's hellacious sex life?
That is actually a really cool prospect.
Right?
She denies it so fervently.
No, she straight up told me in the car. She's like, yeah, she's fucking the shit out of him. I guess.
She said it to you. She won't say it to me.
I think she's embarrassed.
Oh. I don't know why she's embarrassed.
Yeah.
Aiden's good looking.
I got a question for you, though.
Yeah.
So, I put out some feelers about Teddy. Just as an FYI.
Okay.
Nothing like mean or anything like that. Just where's she been for the last 5 years? For someone who was so important to you, she's just been gone. Doing what? You know, from postcards?
Yeah, she sent me a postcard like every week. You've seen them. They're on the fridge.
I know. I have seen them. But let's just say that the road can change people. And I just want to make sure you're safe. That's all.
Teddy wouldn't hurt me.
She may not hurt people. But fangs that go on the road generally make a lot of enemies.
You can tell by the look on Cassie's face that she doesn't want to talk about it.
It's okay. I'm not trying to press. Teddy's important to you, so she's important to me. So, whoever's important to you is important to me. And whether they like it or not, I'm going to make sure nobody's tailing them or nobody's after them. Because if their life is easier, your life is easier. That's just how it works.
I think my life will be easier once I graduate, but...
well, you know,
okay.
small moves, you know, night by night.
I'm gonna grab Vincent by the hand and lead him back over to Helena. Since the people that are important to me are important to you, does that mean you're gonna stop peeing on Helena's floor?
Yeah, I'll stop peeing on Helena's floor, even though I never once did.
Just
I
moments
didn't do
before,
it.
just moments before this wonderful moment of micturation. While you're looking at them, Bones. Sorry, Helena, are you doing anything? Just hanging out? I don't know.
Probably scrolling on my phone, texting Aiden.
He doesn't
Sexting.
answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
He sends you back these occult emojis.
Swing
As you're
games.
texting and you're watching them embrace, and it's kind of really weird, your phone rings.
Hello.
Hello, darling. How are you doing? It's Bahari's voice, your sire.
I've been better.
I hear the nights have been a little difficult.
Yeah, we've got some problems.
What is going on in Chicago?
What do you know about Baali, Bahari?
A little bit. Samir told me what happened at the club.
Yeah, I'm a little freaked out. The prince has us on his investigation.
The message that was left at the club was intended for me.
I would imagine.
The name Anath. Anath is my grandsire. She got involved in something a long time ago, and now I'm paying for it. The Baali are all over Gary. They are what people say we are. You know, people call us spreaders of pestilence and rot and corruption. we're just dabblers compared to the Baali. We're just out here trying to give people what they want. The Baali are truly given over to the dark. Probably not something you want to sully your dreams with once they enter. They are very difficult to root out. They're all over Gary here. It's a mess. That's why I had to move out to Indianapolis. It's just a nightmare here. The Sabbat are usually pretty good at rooting them out. In fact, some time ago it was believed that the Black Hand had eradicated all of the Baali, but I guess they missed a few.
Hayden thinks he can work on it.
Your little Tremere pet?
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's got some skill at hunting down Sabbat, but the Baali are a whole nother thing. If they were looking at the old post office, they're probably looking for the temple. You'll have to be very careful. Whatever issue they have with my grandsire and are now crawling on my butt about, and is bound to involve you also. I'll talk to Anne-Marie and try to sort out the club issue. I have something else you need to do for me.
What is it?
The shipment from Bangladesh. It's arrived, but it's being held there with a broker. He's not as trustworthy as I thought. He wants more. I need you to get out there as soon as possible and retrieve that package however you can. It's crucial that you bring it to the temple before the next dark moon.
I'll take care of it.
Broker's name is Clyde, but don't let the name fool you. He's not kindred, but he's not human either. You should bring some backup if you've got it. Someone who can tussle. I'm gonna need Samir in Chicago taking care of the club thing. I don't think Clyde would do anything as rash as attack you, but you never know. If you got someone who can defend themselves and can at least look tough that you could bring with you, that would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, I've got somebody in mind.
I made arrangements for you to see him tomorrow night. I'll send details. Just let me know when you've secured the shipment.
I will.
Oh, I have it on good authority that your Italian friend is heading to New York. I'm sure he has access to a jet. You should talk to him.
Yeah. Good to know. I gotta go, Baali.
Do be careful, sweet.
I will.
I'm being a little laid back about this, but the Baali are bad business. You want to put as much space between you and them as possible. And whatever happens, do not let a Camarilla conflate you and them, because they have a tendency to do that.
Can I be honest, Baali?
Of course, you can always be honest with me, sweet.
I believe that it would be within my scruples to inflict pain.
Of course.
I want to hurt the Baali.
You want to hurt the Baali, dear?
Badly.
What have they done to you, sweet?
An affront on you.
Oh,
You're important to me.
I know I am. You know you're important to me too, right?
Very much so.
Don't fret. I've been dodging them for decades now. I'll keep dodging them, but be careful.
I will.
If they're in Chicago now, might be bad.
You be careful as well, then.
Of course, sweet. Thank you for your concern. Get me that shipment from New York. Whatever you need to do.
Got it.
I'll move some pieces about and try to get a little bit more security down around where you are. And sweet.
Yeah.
The temple can be rebuilt. If you need to torch that one and move on to stay safe, you do that.
I think I've got the temple under control. It should be okay.
That's why I chose you. You were very good.
Thank you, Bahari.
Oh, one more thing. Someone might come knocking at your door. Someone called Frances. If she does, be kind to her. She's your sister.
I see. No problem.
Be safe, sweet.
Goodbye, Bahari.
And as you hang up, the other two are returning to you. And the three of you head up into the apartment with Vincent swinging his tomahawk steak like he's about to feed a family of 4.
Just a really big dog.
Just a really big dog. Somewhere a little bit west of Westchester, in a wooded area called Salt Creek, and a coyote is running, dashing through the forest, trying to pick up a scent. Can you pick up a scent?
Can I?
Let's see if you can. Let's see if you can. Go ahead and make me a perception plus survival roll.
Okay.
You do have acute senses, which will reduce it by 2.
What's my goal?
So it will be 4.
Okay, that is 5 successes. One of those was a critical.
Okay, you lose no time at all. As soon as you get into the forest, you pick up his scent. You travel all the way to the heart of it. There is a slight rise with a little rocky outcropping. And as you approach, you can see the remnants of a camp there. There's a tent. There's a fire that is burned down to cinders, and a few other goods. And his scent is very, very strong there. And as you approach and start patting around, do you stay in coyote form? Do you change? What would you do?
I stay in coyote form.
You pat around, and at some point, you get a whiff of the scent that is much stronger than it was a moment ago, and you hear, "And so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you looking like a coyote in disgrace." That is you, isn't it?
She turns and she kind of like lays down in front of him and kind of like hunkers down, almost like in dogs it would be a submissive thing, so it's almost like an "I'm sorry, don't be mad at me."
He crouches down, looks at you a little bit, scratches you behind the ear. "Well, you've certainly got an interesting new look."
At that, she's going to shift back into her usual form, sitting there on the ground where the coyote was.
He plops down, sits down next to you. "I'm sorry I don't have any Colt 45 for you to drink." He reaches up and Pulls your cap down a little bit.
Pissed at me. Be honest.
Nah. I figured you'd wander back.
Yeah, I don't think I could stay away for too long.
I wasn't expecting the whole, what was that name? The guy who ran, Smokey and the Bandit, the guy who drove the van, what was his call sign? No, it was before your time, don't worry about it.
Yeah. How are you? How have things been here?
Messy. Messy, I guess. There's we got into a fight a couple of nights ago, but well, I didn't fight. I just set up a couple of people to fight each other. It's always safe for bet. I know life here is life here,
Fight.
Yeah.
Was it him?
Sure was. Good old Carter.
You'll never guess who told me he's in town.
Who told you?
The prince.
Oh. Well. It was interesting seeing him again. I mean, he still looks the same. He's wearing this. It's weird because, still the same old Carter, greasy hair, beer belly, fucking munchos, but he was wearing this golf shirt under this shirt, and he had these darker shoes, and it was just fucked up. It was really fucked up. I didn't know what to make of it.
Why do you think he's here?
There's only one thing that Carter does, and that's fucking kill people. So if he's here, it was to kill some people. I don't know who. We unfortunately missed him. Him and some of the others managed to run out. And we got one of them. The others ran off.
Prince called me by name. Had to go talk to her last night.
Really?
Yeah.
Wanted you to check in, I guess?
It's much bigger than that. There was a Baali.
A what?
Baali. Do you know what that
Baali.
is?
Yeah, I've heard the name mentioned, but...
Nora kind of said they were the boogeymen of boogeymen. Even Kindred don't care much for them.
The only boogeyman I know of is the one whose blood runs in your veins. And he's in town. I don't know about no Baali. I mean, I've heard the name mentioned here and there, but I don't really know much about it. But why your name? What's the connection?
Baali was... They had this piece of wood, some bark from a tree. It had my name on it. It had Carter's name on it. It had Helena and Cass and that new fucking guy she's been running around with. It had our names on it. And a bunch of other names too. Lydia, Francis, and Archibald? Do you know any of those names?
I don't know the last two, but Lydia used to run with Carter In fact, Lydia was here the night that that you and your friends unfortunately ran into his pack. She was with him. And she was here 2 nights ago also when we ambushed him.
The names, they were all in pairs and there were symbols. Carter and I, it made sense. A wolf paw. And then there was a snake and a hand with an eye, and it was on. Have you ever heard of the Judas tree?
No, is that a band?
No, I can't remember its science name. It's a tree, okay, and it's a really pretty tree. In the spring, it blossoms these really beautiful pink blossoms, but it's named the Judas tree because people believe that after Judas betrayed Jesus, that he hung himself on that tree. I don't know what that means. I just, family,
so
real big Bible thumpers. So
someone's calling you and them traitors?
I don't know, but our names were on that piece of wood, and
4 of you.
4 of us.
Camarilla, and the other, at least 2 are Sabat. One of them's your sire. Is there a connection between the others like that?
I don't know. I need to get together with everybody. We need to get together with everybody.
Who was with Cassie? What name was with Cassie's?
Archibald? I remember, don't worry.
I should know better. No, Cassie's sire is named Samael. And I don't know who Helena's sire is. And what was the other pairing you said? This new guy? Who is that?
Vincent.
Vincent.
He was with Lydia. I think Vincent's a Giovanni? That's what Nora said.
And Helena's hanging out with him? Or Cassie, you said?
Cassie.
With a Giovanni?
Yeah, I don't really care much for the guy. I don't get it, but I'm whatever makes Cass happy, as long as he doesn't do anything stupid. I won't have to rip his throat out, I guess.
Cassie's like haunted by like a ton of ghosts. It's literally like it's literally like a gambling addict fucking dating a croupier. Like, that's messed up.
Do you think I shouldn't trust him?
I mean, I don't know the guy.
Prince doesn't like him.
Prince didn't like me in the beginning either.
Well, he's careful. Like me.
Yeah. You mentioned Bible thumpers. Did you go back home while you were away?
I did. I saw my dad.
What was that like?
Weird.
Did he recognize you?
Well, I wasn't necessarily me. But it felt like he knew. He's out there on his porch like he always is. With his gun, watching the field. thought for a second he was gonna shoot me. Then he looked me in the eyes and it was like he saw a fucking ghost.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's just, you know, I was hoping to come back to a happy reunion. And it looks like I just stepped right in shit. Straight off the truck.
I get the feeling that this shit was already here. And I'd been here for a while, and it just happened to return when it was showing its face. Look, there's probably some stuff that we need to talk about. I need to tell you, but I don't think that right now is the best time for it. But there's this guy. A while back, used to run around with Carter. You know, when I met you, you were a little different than you are now, and I think you're discovering things about yourself, and I think you're finding out that who you were is not completely necessarily everything that you are, and you might come to find that out again with what you're going through now, but at least you're sort of discovering new facets to you. And he reaches out and he just runs his fingers through your hair a little bit. Is this your real color?
Yeah. It's weird.
It's nice.
Thanks.
Anyways, you're finding new facets about you. You're discovering new things, and you're not too sure who you are or what to do. And there's all this stuff coming at you, and the Baali and the Giovanni and this and that and the fucking other. It's a lot. You're discovering parts of you that are connected to these things, and parts of you that you maybe didn't think were there. But this guy used to run with Carter. This guy was one thing and one thing only. He was a killer. He'd been a killer in real life. He was a killer as a fucking vampire. That's all he did. That's all he knew. Never questioned it. Followed Carter's orders. Went everywhere with him. They killed a lot of fucking people in their time. And then he would just light a cigarette and fucking crack open a Miller Genuine like nothing had happened. And this was just what life was for this guy. Never wanted anything else, never knew anything else. This is what had been handed to him, and he was just doing that. It's kind of like he walked out fully formed one day on the farm, and someone gave him a scythe and said, start cutting, and he just started cutting, and he never stopped until we killed him a couple nights ago. Never sowed a goddamn thing in his life, just fucking cutting. You saw what that feels like. I'm afraid that if you stay here, that's what's in store for you, just more cutting. And before you discover that you're really good at it and that it's what you do, I think you should get on all fours. And you should put this place in your review and fucking run.
I can't do that, Lee. I can't leave my friends. I can't leave Cassie.
I'll take care of Cassie. I'll take care of them. The things we have to do to thrive as we are now are things that ruin you at length. And I would want to see that take as much time as possible to happen to you.
I already ran away once. I already had to sacrifice my relationship with everybody that I loved here. I turned tail and I went on the road. I'm not fucking doing it again.
At some point when we have time, I'll tell you about some place I've been and some of the things that I've done and how fucking hard it is to come back from that. And when I get a chance to tell you these things, I hope that you don't see this as a revelation of monstrosity, but rather that you see it as a warning and that you heed it. Because at the end of the day, the difference between you or me or me and this guy Songbird, that difference is just the volition to stop. And all that got him was killed 2 nights ago. That's all it led to. A life of killing, and all that got him was killed.
I refuse to become a monster, Lee.
You already
Sometimes you have to kill a person.
You already are. It's inside of you. You told me what happened. You don't have a choice now. All you get to do is to try and keep it at bay as long as possible.
But you do have a choice. I killed plenty of people on the road, and every one that I killed was a choice that I made. And I don't regret a single fucking one of those choices.
For now. You, Teddy, are now the apex predator. There is nothing in this world that is above you on the food chain. You thought that was real as human, now you know different. But now you truly are. Literally, our existence is consuming. And there is nothing we won't eat, nothing we won't kill. And there's only so long you can go with being that before you start to relish it or you start to get numb to it. And you are the sweetest songbird I've ever seen. And while you were in your cage, you were safe. And now you've flown, and that's good. But I'm afraid you've only traded one cage for another, and that while the door is still open, well, you still can. I think you should fly. But I can't make you do that.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm sorry, Lee. I hope that doesn't soil your opinion of me.
Yeah. Yeah. Just keep it in mind, okay?
You know, I went to your house before I found you here.
Yeah, they live there. Brent's all right.
There was someone there.
There was someone there? Ooh.
A man. He looked really beat up. Beard. Like the biker type. I don't know. I showed up as my coyote form, and I pawed at the door, and he answered it, and he knew what I was. And he smelled like Kindred.
Bald. It's like
Yeah.
That's a fucking impossible. That songbird, we killed him 2 nights ago.
Well, he was flesh and blood before my eyes.
No, that's not fucking possible.
You
Fuck.
think I'm seeing ghosts now, Lee?
No, it's Gangrel. It's possible he could have survived. Oh, fucking hell. They didn't fucking burn him. Jesus. Oh,
The
even
one
that might
running
not
with
have made a
Carter.
difference. Sorry?
The one running with Carter, Songbird.
Yeah. Alright, my place, you said?
Yeah. Do you think Carter's still in the city?
I know he is. I can smell him. As he says this, you get this sudden feeling that you're being watched. It comes and goes really quickly, but the hair on the back of your neck stands up, and you get this sudden feeling there's someone somewhere watching you. You sometimes I can feel that fucker. And he reaches out and puts his hand on your shoulder and goes, whatever this is, he's mixed up in it. You need to go to your friends. You need to circle the wagons. You need to stay put. I'm going to go and see about this fucker in my place. And then I'm going to fucking let the others know that maybe we didn't get the one we thought we did, but the others are still running around. So if you're tied to them, if Carter's name's on that list, Lydia's name's on his list, for all I know, the other names on that list are the other 2 people that were with Carter and Lydia. You need to go and round up your friends and keep them safe. Because they might be out there looking for you. And in Baali this, Baali that, I don't know about the fucking Baali, but Carter is the fucking boogeyman. And if Carter has decided that he wants you back, either to fucking break you or to fucking eat you, that's what he's gonna do. Go to your friends. Keep them safe. I'll get in touch as soon as I figure out what's going on in my house.
Please be careful. If this man really did die and he's back, who knows what they can do? And who knows what they're mixed up with?
Yeah, you be careful too. He reaches out and just very gently with his thumb brushes your cheek. I know you came back from outer space and all, but, you know, it's not tempt fate.
I'm sorry I left for so long.
You had to go out and find out who you are.
Look,
Go.
don't fight Carter again without me, all right?
I'm not that stupid. I
I'm
mean,
gonna turn.
I sent fucking Batiste and a bunch of his fucking guys after him, and that fucker escaped. I'm telling you, that fucking guy's got like 27,000 lives.
Yeah, well, even a cat will have their day. She's gonna transform back into the coyote.
I can't even do that. Jesus Christ.
She gives him a little bark.
Nice tail.
She pads off into the darkness.
Goes down on the other side to his car that you hear start up. At Chez Cassie, at Casa Cassie.
It's more like Cassie's Mojo Dojo Casa, but okay.
The 4 of you walk into the apartment. Cassie's got a bed and 1 chair.
I have a couch now.
She does.
That's
I
right.
know.
It's a very nice couch.
I bought it. No cum stains.
No cum stains.
The three of you walk into the apartment. What do you do?
Helena is going to like move Cassie to the couch and like set her down.
I go give Prince his tomahawk.
Is something wrong, Helena?
I don't know. I don't know if something is wrong. I just need to talk to you.
Do you need him to leave?
No, he should fucking hear this too.
Ooh,
Okay.
drama.
Just sit down, Vincent.
Can I stand?
No.
I'm gonna pat the spot next to me.
He sits down. Very pointedly, like, stretches his arm out around Cassie in front of Helena.
Helena just don't give a fuck. Just be nice to her. I don't give a shit. Like,
Stop peeing on my floor.
stop pissing on my floor, Christ.
I'm not peeing on your floor.
Where'd all that piss come from then? Explain that. It's crazy. Anyway, Helena is sort of pacing a little bit. And she's gonna look at you, Cassie, and say, you know that I love you very much. And you know that I would never do anything to hurt you.
Uh-huh.
And more than ever, I need you to not just trust me, but I need you to understand why I held this out for so long. I need this to be a place of understanding, I think, whatever that means.
You've seen me talk to people that aren't there, so I think that understanding is something that I could do.
Yeah, great. Same with you, Vincent. I need you to not be judgmental or weird about what I'm about to say.
Go on.
Cassie, I'm not a caitiff.
Did you get accepted into a different clan?
I've always known my clan. And
Why
I
didn't
need
you say anything?
I need you to understand that my clan isn't like yours or the Tremere or like Teddy's at the Gangrel, or it's certainly not like the Giovanni. I'm not looked at very well in our society. There are certain habits that die hard generationally, I guess. I don't know how else to word it without sounding weird. But there's gonna come a time where I just need you to trust me. And trust that I would never, ever do anything to hurt you or Teddy. Vincent's okay too, I guess.
So, what's your plan then?
Helena's gonna go up to Cassie and sort of kneel down in front of her and take her hands in her own. And as she's sort of making this long eye contact, she's going to use Eyes of the Serpent very briefly. So they flick into these long vertical snake eyes. And then when she'll blink again, she'll drop it. Do you understand what that means?
I'm going to assume that Cassie probably doesn't. And she's going to turn to Vincent.
Well, you know, I gotta say, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Is that like, Is that why you have, Gil?
Cassie, I'm a follower of Set.
There it is.
That's like the Egyptian god.
Yeah.
Only a little was. No offense. Your people ain't got the best reputation in the world.
No, we don't.
And that's coming from a guy who descended from a line of Diableris. So, you know.
Cassie, like,
What the fuck is that?
what did he say?
My sire is Baali.
Who's that?
My sire.
That's descriptive.
Is she nice?
Bahari's wonderful.
Well, that's good then.
She cares about me. And I think you see a little quiver of the lip. I need you to understand that there is something about this, something inside of me that I'm a little bit afraid of.
Cassie's gonna sort of drop Helena's hands and grab Helena by the face. And she's going to bring Helena's forehead to her lips and place a kiss on her forehead and draw back. There's something inside of me that I'm afraid of too.
There's something else. Before Teddy left, I told her.
Okay.
It's not that I didn't want to tell you this. I did, and I truly did. I just didn't know what to make of it. And I had to tell somebody, and
Teddy made sense.
And Helena's gonna kind of sit back on her calves. She'll sort of let her eyes slide over to Vincent, and she's trying to gauge his reaction about this information.
Vincent just kind of stares at her with a degree of indifference. He just looks at her and says, "So you're a snake. We got plenty of them in New York. But I'll tell you this much. I'm not saying you are your blood, but that blood runs in your veins. And if I ever catch a hint of deception, a hint, as long as you mind your P's and Q's, you don't try and screw her over, I got no quarrel with you whatsoever. Oh, and stay the fuck away from the family if you're recruiting. Capiche?
The snakes at the club.
Make more sense now.
It's a message for a follower of Set.
Wait, snakes at the club? Why would someone put snakes in the club?
Bahari's got some beef with the Baali.
Everybody got beef with the Baali.
Yeah, that message I think was for her.
What message?
That Baali came in and caught up a bunch of headless snakes and wrote a message on the wall. It's kind of a fucked up mess, but Hayden knows. He's still fucking me, so.
Congratulations.
I don't know if I want that.
At that,
Thanks.
I think Vincent reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out
Are you going to try to give her a phone too?
No, pulls out the box and pulls out the vial and holds it up. Maybe it's time we get some answers, huh?
And as you say that, there is a knock at the door.
You expecting someone, Cass?
I've had a lot of visitors the last couple of days. It's a little concerning. I think I need to get a Ring camera.
Stay here.
I got you. No problem.
And I think Helena's gonna get up and go to the door and look in the peephole.
When you look out the people, you see Teddy.
Oh, she swings the door right open.
I thought I was going to have to get a no solicitor sign.
I think when she sees Helena, I think she'll know on her face that Helena told Cassie the truth.
You told him.
Yeah, I think I had to.
It's for the best.
Yeah.
She's gonna step in and pull you into a hug, which is something she rarely does with you.
I think at first she kind of like, ooh, I don't know what to do with this. But she'll sink into it and then eventually draw away. You take care of what you need to take care of.
Yeah, I think we all need to sit down and figure some stuff out.
Group
Yeah.
huddle. Is that not what we're doing? We're not huddling. We don't have to huddle.
Yeah, baby, I think we're huddling.
Oh,
okay.
baby. Baby, he says.
You want answers or not?
Yeah, let's get some answers.
Okay.
Group huddle.
And somewhere across town, in a small townhouse near a park, Teddy, you're sitting on the front steps, waiting. Been waiting for a little while, but eventually you see the car pull up, and Lee gets out of it, and he looks at you like, Jesus fucking Christ, you run fast. Is he not here yet? Is he still here? You all right, Teddy? You all right? He comes over. What's wrong? Is Songbird here or what?
I thought you'd never come back.
Yeah, baby, I'm back from outer space. What?
She's
What's gotten
gonna
into you?
move into him and snake her arms up around his neck and pull him into a deep kiss.
And as you do, you feel him jerk. You feel him shake. You taste his blood as it drips into your mouth. Lee pulls back, sees your hand that has become a bone shard and is embedded into his chest. And as he looks, the rest of the body transforms slowly. And where Teddy was standing a moment ago, now stands a freaky, little, bony Vorena with her arm buried all the way inside of Lee's chest.
My boyfriend.
And on that note, my friends,
What the fuck's happening? What's
What
going on?
Verena does best.
and on that note, my friends, y'all thought Songbird was alive, but ha ha ha, little did you know.
He bamboozled us.
It
We've
was
been
Lorena all along.
had.